Anyway, your lead this morning, Wicks?
All right, so mine is simple. The question, last night I think Courtney brought this up. It was a great point. There were two quarterbacks on the field, and you got to see both of them. And if you're the New England Patriots, the question has become whether it's the play call or whether it's the O-line, whether it's the skill players. You need to ask yourself the question, where are you going with the guy you have when you look across the field and go, okay, this is the guy that we now need to see for the next 6-7 years.
In our division.
Yeah. And they used to do it. Hey, listen, you were on the other side of that coin for 20 years, whether it was Buffalo, the Jets, or Miami, and going, all right, what are we doing at our position? Because they got that number 12 over there. What do we need to do to have a guy that can at least go blow for blow or, throw a few punches against him? Mm-hmm. Now, that has to be your same approach. And who makes that decision? Is it Bill? Is it Robert? Where is this football team going? And I think last night, it showed you that's one guy over there, Josh Allen. Here's our guy. Mm-hmm. Is he good enough to run with that dude?
Well, speaking of decisions and of the Krafts, when I walked in this morning in a grumpy mood because of my beloved New England Patriots, Curtis said to me, "Do you think that this is the moment?" I'm paraphrasing here, Curtis. What was your question? Is this the moment that the Krafts give up on Bill Belichick and say we're done? Is that essentially what?
Yeah, I said, given your intimate knowledge of the Kraft family as the fifth son. I asked if last night on national TV, seeing the Krafts, if they may have had enough of what they were seeing with Bill, that the beginning of the end has begun.
So the answer is that I think they're in a pickle. And that pickle is that you cannot fire Bill Belichick because of the hue and the outcry that would result. The guy is the greatest coach in the history of the NFL.
Yeah, you ain't firing him.
Would there be an outcry?
Yes, there would, Shime. You don't think there would?
I don't know. I think a lot of fans are turning
asking,
against him.
would there be firing Bill Belichick?
Yeah, I think a lot of fans. I think a lot of Greg. I think you're underestimating how reactionary fans can be.
No.
Yeah, I'm with Greg on this one.
The only way is Bill deciding that the game has passed him by or he can't do what he used to be. I thought it was telling when Matt Light was on this show this week and he said that Bill doesn't essentially have the time to work with the mid-level players and turn them into great. He doesn't have that time anymore the way the league is structured.
It might be easier to make them into great players if you gave them coaches that know the side of the ball they're coaching.
The only way Bill goes is Bill wants to go, and Bill figures that out. Wiggy, you know the man better than anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Does he reach a point? Does he reach a point where he's like, I'm not doing this anymore?
Hell no.
Huh?
Hell no.
No?
Nope.
You're going to have to drag him out of there in a walker?
Listen, we talk about how Brady's wired DNA-wise, and a lot of that is from Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick is wired the same way. There's no way he's walking away at all. Every season he says it. Every season's a new season. There's new challenges. There's new things. Bill is not walking away from this game.
The Patriots lost 3 games to the Bills in over 2 decades. Mm-hmm. They've lost 3 straight.
Yep.
They play at Gillette Stadium, which up until recently, I don't know what changed, was the greatest home field advantage in all of sports. In their last 20 home games at Gillette Stadium, they have had 7 double-digit losses.
Mm-hmm.
Think of that.
Yeah.
7 blowout losses at home in their last 20 games, a place that they would go years without losing in.
That's more fuel to his fire to try to turn this thing around.
But you can try all you might, and fans are he's losing fans left and right.
Let me ask you this question. Do you think that this team, now, whether it's small or not, has a chance to make the playoffs?
It's a tiny little.
Okay.
It's like my hands.
Right.
Tiny,
It might be
like
adorable,
microscopic.
but tiny.
Adorable, but tiny.
Right. But you
skilled. I have skilled hands.
Oh, swift. Some might say.
It's a tough enough day around here.
Curtis.
The point I'm trying to make, Greg, is that Bill is always going to have a good enough team that is going to be in the hunt.
And I guess if you get rid of your quarterback, because a lot of people are angry about that, the boos were bad yesterday at the end. The boo birds were out.
They were out.
If you get rid of them, nobody is upset. If you get rid of Bill, you will have some people that are.
And we don't know what Bill's really thinking, and we will never know until he gets to the point where he only wins 3 or 4 games. But the problem is that will never happen with him as a coach.
You also, if you're Robert Kraft or Jonathan Kraft or whoever's making the decision, who are you going to replace him with?
Right.
Curtis. Who?
A guy
Sean
that hires
Payton or something? I mean,
well, if we could get Sean Payton, I'd do it today, and you'd be a fool not to, because it's an offensive game. Bill's a defensive guy also. It might be wise when you see Ken Dorsey, when you see Mike McDaniel, when you see
Mike Kafka.
Who's the coach of the Bengals that used to work with McVay, the head coach of the Bengals?
Why do I forget his name?
Anyway, what's his name? We all know who we're talking about.
Yep.
The whole league has spawned new, young, nerdy coaches that maximize the ability of the players on the field. Bill has done none of that. He has gone backwards. 2 guys that would not be coordinators anywhere in the league are coaching a side of the ball they've never coached before and ruining the most important asset that organization has. Those are all fireable offenses.
well, I was going to say, do you think putting Matt Patricia in charge of the offense is a fireable offense?
Of course. How can you look at anybody with a straight face and say that was in the best interest of the football team?
See, you can't, but the problem is
There's no but. That's his whole resume here.
Right, but
I do what's best for the TEAM team.
right, but the problem is you wouldn't have those 6 banners if it wasn't for the man on the sidelines. That's the problem that the Krafts are always going to have.
That's why I'm saying they can't fire him.
They'll always
He has to go on his own.
and they can't fire him because even though, and it was Zach Taylor from Cincinnati, even though they might be struggling, they're always going to be in the playoff hunt until he gets to the point, Bill, where he's coaching teams that go 5-12, 4-13.
You're mistaking playoff hunt with contention.
No,
this team is not in contention.
But it doesn't matter because
yes, it does to the Kraft.
The fan base will always look at it and go, "Oh, if we made the playoffs last year, we got hope. We got hope." And when you've won 6 titles, and the reason why those banners hang from Gillette Stadium and you're able to now enclose the whole place in glass is because of the man on the sidelines and obviously number 12.
Of course it's not because of the man. None of that has happened since he left.
Yeah,
the team looks like it's not recognizable.
What's that saying when you built up so much goodwill because of what you are?
Yeah.
They're not going to walk away from him for
He's bulletproof is what you're saying.
He has to be horrible.
Yeah, but the guy you're crediting with building the dynasty never worked a day on it. It's the other guy that built the dynasty.
Yeah, but they don't look at it like that.
We have a poll question up, the Greg Hill Show. Yeah. Have you lost faith in Belichick's ability to win another Super Bowl with the Patriots? 66% say yes.
Wow, how many votes?
Already 120 votes.
Yeah,
Just
I
put
believe
it
the
up.
fans that way, but do you think the Krafts believe that?
You just said the fans wouldn't want them to fire Bill. You literally just said that.
No. I'm more on the point of the Krafts are not going to fire Belichick. There's no way.
Didn't the Cowboys fire Tom Landry? Like I think any coach is fireable.
No. I don't think not when you're Bill Belichick.
No, I don't think he is, Shime. I not debating whether they should or shouldn't. I don't think he's fireable. I think he has to go on his own.
Right.
But if the fans don't care, then what do the Krafts have to lose if they do fire him? Like what?
Great point.
Because
don't the Krafts do everything to try to get butts in seats and
But the reason why they won't fire him is because of Brady. The reason why is because of Brady. They let Brady go. What did Brady do? He went out, won a Super Bowl.
So they're nervous he would go to another
Let's
team.
say Bill goes to another team and they turns that team around.
That's fair.
There's no way they're going to let that man
that's
go.
a good point.
Well, if he takes Patricia and Judge, you know that won't happen.